This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So let's create one folder and then get started. Sorry, today is 13. Okay. Oops. All right. And let's open this. So where did we stop on the previous day? Is we stopped at discussing the question, what is the difference between TWB and TWBX formats? All right. Okay, so I just want to take some confirmation. Can everyone hear me and see the screen? Can anyone confirm in the chat?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Thank you. Yeah, great. So what is the difference between TWB and TWBX formats here? Let's take a look. So what is the difference here? Let's open Tableau very quickly. It's not open yet. All right, let's open Tableau and let's connect to a file. All right, and let's have the table here. And then let's say we have some dummy data like this, region and sales, and let me save that file. File save as. Okay. And where did we save? So the default location is it should save under the My Tableau repository, and it saves in this folder, which is workbooks folder. Right, but I'm trying to save in our day-to-day sessions. And what is the date today here? Let's say dummy, because we are not doing anything in this. Let's click on save. And I saved in .twb format, and I want to save another copy as a TWBX format. Okay, so I want to save here in two different formats. And let's go to that particular folder. So in this folder now, we can see that it is saved in TWB and TWBX. Observe here this part. So the size of the file is very small when it is saved as TWB, and the size of the file is a little big when I save it as TWBX. So what is it saving here in TWBX, which is not getting saved in TWB? So very simple answer for that is, so if we save as TWB, which is a Tableau workbook, then data is not stored in that file. All right, the data is not stored in that file. But when you save it as packaged Tableau packaged workbook, which is of the extension TWBX, so in this file, data is stored along with the visualizations or reports. So what is the big difference between TWB and the TWBX means? So in TWB, the data is not stored. All right, and everything will be stored, like the connection details and what you have in that file. So every other information will be stored but not the data related information. So you can always right click on this file and say open with a notepad. Okay, open with notepad, and this is an XML file, external markup language. So it saves here what is the name of the file you connected, where is that file, which format is that. So it stores every information. Okay, here you can see, oh, I have the column names as well, but the data will not be stored in this TWB format. Right? It stores just the metadata. Metadata means only the column names, but the data, the complete data will be stored in this TWBX formats. So if you right click and say open with notepad, see here what you can observe. It's taking some time because it's of 1 MB file. Now which one should we use? That is an important thing for us. So let's say, so can you really see the data? So everything is now encrypted. But in previous versions of Tableau desktop, so previous versions means I can say till 2018. So if you open TWBX, even this will be in the form of XML files only. So you can actually see the data. But after 2018 version, if you open TWBX files, so that is really encrypted. We cannot see what is there in that. All right. So now the question is, which one should we use? So which one should I save in which format? So now let's say we are in the same office. All right. So the database is here, and every Tableau developer is connecting to the same data. All right. So every system we are connecting to the same database. Then here we can happily use TWB format only, because all the 4 machines are inside the network only, and I can communicate with this database. And it can be a file, it can be the database, or it can be the network, a shared device, it can be anything. But if every system can access this database, then you can save it as a TWB. And let's say the other way, I want to send my file to a client where is in a different location, and he don't have access to the database. So that means I want to send my file to a friend. Don't send it in companies. But so if you are practicing, if you want to send something to your friends or colleagues, anyone, then if you save as a TWB, if you save as TWB, and if you send this file to another person, he can open the file, but immediately you will get the error saying that I cannot connect it to the data. So why that fellow will get error means, let's say in your C drive, you have placed the file here, so .xls. So this file will not be sent to your friend machine in the same C drive XLS. So there you will get error. It means that this file doesn't store data. So if you want to send with the data, so then make sure you use a TWBX format. This is a Tableau packaged workbook. All right, Tableau packaged workbook, and this is just a Tableau workbook. All right, so very important interview question, and we will add some more information to it as we move on. All right, so that's the big difference, and that is the reason if I am sharing any workbooks here. So yesterday, if you remember, I saved it as TWBX format. That means if you open this file in your machine, you should get the data as well. Right? That's the reason I saved it as TWBX format. Okay, so that's the first thing which we saw, continuation from the last session. Excellent. Now let's move on to our current topics. So today what do we learn here is, let's click on this drop down, and we know some default aggregations. So just move on to this option, and there are few things here: sum, average, median, count, count D, minimum, maximum, and these are the statistics related things. All right, now let's see very useful one and very important, most frequently used ones. The difference between a count and a count distinct. What do they mean? They say the same word. Very good. Let's understand this with one small example here. Because in this very big data, if I just apply that, we don't understand much. So let's put here the very small data and let's try to analyze it. So let's save that file very quickly, and here let's say count versus count D. So D means distinct. Distinct means it's nothing but unique values. All right. So the first thing what do we see here is I'm taking some data like this, and order, date, comma, and then sales. Observe this because you have to answer some questions here. I'll take only 3 rows. And so yesterday was maybe 11th, day before yesterday, 11th July 2020. And when I sold mobiles, I got some 2000 rupees. And mobile, and I sold on 11th July 2020, and let's say I got 2500. And then let's say I sold laptops on 12th July 2020, and the laptops I got some big amount, let's say 30,000. All right, so I'm taking only 3 records here to answer 2 questions. So what are the 2 questions here is question number 1. This is your data. So this is your data. So the questions are, how many products did we sell? And second question is, how many sales we got till date, or just say we got till now. Can you answer these questions? You can put your answers in the chat window. Look at the data, analyze yourself, and put the answers here. How many products did we sell? So I'm getting answers here as 2 and 3. I'm not really worried which one is the right one, who is the right. Now we just take all answers here. We sold 2 products, very good. And the number of sales, so I'm asking here how many sales. That means I'm not asking how much sales I got. That means I'm not asking the sum of the sales. So my question is, how many sales we got? This is considered as one sale. So first sale I made is of 2000 rupees. Second sale I made is of 2500. So the question here is, how many sales we did till now? Let's say we did. Let's replace that. So 3, okay. And let's take a look at the chat window. I'm getting very good answers. 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3 sales. Okay. All right. Now let's come back here to the question. And so some said 2 and some said 3. Okay. Now let's analyze what is that here. So how many products did we sell how many products you have. Let's say I have two products only. One is a mobile and another one is a laptop. So I have two products in my electronic shop. So how many did I sell? One is a mobile and another one is a laptop. Very good. That means here, so how many products did we sell? One is a mobile and another is laptop. So that means the total count here is 2. So two products I sold. But I sold mobile 2 times. That is another side of the story. But how many products we sell? Only 2. But why you are not taking mobile, laptop, and why can't we say 3 products? Then immediately people say, please close your store and get yourself checked. Because you have only 2 products, yes. So I'm not considering the repetition of the same value, isn't it? So I'm not considering the repetition here. Okay, let's put that like that. So here the answer is 2, and we are not considering output as 3. Okay, now coming to sales here. So how many sales did we did? So this is my first sale. This is my first sale, and this is my second, and this is my third sale. Sir, why are you considering this as a second sale? So because you are selling again the same mobile only, but why you are saying this one is a second sale? Yes, why? Because you are selling the same product different times. This is on one date, this is on another date. So how many sales we got? One on Monday, one on Tuesday, and the another one is on Thursday or some other day. Now, so when you're considering sales, you are not looking at the duplicate values, isn't it? So you are considering one complete record. Okay, so what is this here? We are considering sometimes duplicate. We are considering sometimes unique values. Understand here, the concept here is count versus count D. Count D means distinct. So now, how did we get to here? So here we are asking how many products. That means the output, how we should understand here is count of products and count D of products. So in which one we got answer as 2? So here we got answer as 2. That means you are counting only the unique values. So I'm not considering the duplicate values. So D stands for distinct. Distinct means unique values only. But if I count products here, then output will be 3. That means distinct means unique values. And if I'm not using D means just to count everything. So 1, 2, and 3. So the output will come as 3. And how we got 3 as the answer here? So here we are applying the same thing again here. Count of sales and count D of sales. So sales is nothing but the column here. I'm taking sales as a column. So here we are considering the right output as 3. So how many sales we got? 1, 2, and 3. So here we are applying 3. And do you have any duplicates here? So I don't have any duplicates. So here also you will get output as 3. Right? So with this information, if I apply this part, so what is the result? So let's say count of order date. So what is the output? And count D of order date. So what is order date there? It is a column. So it is a column here. So D means distinct. Distinct means unique values. So I will not consider duplicates. So what will be the output for these two things? Can you just put it out? 3 and 2. Yes, so that is the right answer. So this is 3 and this is 2. That means I am not considering the duplicates for order date. So here you will get 2 and here you will get 3. Very nice. Now I got a question. We have so many columns in this list here, and I have the measures as well. So where I have to apply count and where I have to apply count D? Very big question. I know the difference here. I know the difference, but where I should apply count and where I should apply count D? Very big question always, but there is a simple answer for this. So let's say for which columns we have to apply count and count D. Just a simple answer for this is, remember, very useful and important interview question. For dimensions we apply count D. 99.99%. If it is a dimension, then we will apply count D, and if it is a measure, we apply just a count. Right? If it is a measure, so we just apply count here. And the product is a dimension. So dimension, where you got the right result, here I did not get right result. So here only I got right result, which is a distinct, isn't it? And if you look at the order date, you have two things. So which one gave me the right result? So here it gave me the right result. And if I go to sales, then I'm just counting, so how many you got. I don't really mind whether it is a unique value or a distinct value, so just count everything. So here this is the right answer, isn't it? So the simple logic which we have to apply is, for dimensions apply count D, and the easy way to remember, dimensions has D, so apply count D. Remember this, dimensions has D, so apply count D, and measure, just apply the count. Right? You can remember like this. So why we say count D? Count D is nothing but a count distinct, which we see here. It is a count distinct, but we call it as count D. So as a shortcut, so we call it as count D. Okay. Now, based on this here, we will do one small example here. Okay. So what is the small example is, let's say how many orders we got from all 4 regions. Observe this question here. So every region has got the order, isn't it? So if you look at the table, so every record contains which region it belongs to. So if I take this here, so which region it belongs to? Where is the region? Yes, it belongs to South region. And we got order from the South. So similarly, every record has its own region. Now, my question is, how many orders we got from all 4 regions? What we can do here is, how to solve this? Always look at how many dimensions and how many measures we have to show on the screen. Region is 1 dimension, so I have to drag 1 dimension. And how many orders? Okay, now orders where I have, in the dimensions or in the measures. Let's take a look here. The measures, so this is a line here, and after this line I see only 4 things: discount, profit, quantity, and sales. Oh, we don't have the orders here. Very good. So what do I do now? So how do you record an order here? So order is always recorded in the order ID. But order ID, it is a string here. It is not a number, it is a string. Okay, now what do I do? So very simple. So you have 4 regions. That means where is that here? Take region and put that here. So regions are fine. Now what is that I want to show? Number of orders. So but orders are not there here. That is fine. But we can get the information from the order IDs. Can I count them? Yes, you can definitely count them. Can I count this regions as well? See where I'm going here, click on the drop down and go to the measure. And if I say count D, so what is the value you got here? 4. So that means you have 4 regions, right? And so I'm changing back here, changing back to dimension. Oh, did you observe? I'm changing a dimension into a measure. This is a dimension, and I just changed this dimension to measure, isn't it? So this is one interview question again. So what is the question here is, can you convert dimensions to measures? Can we convert dimensions into measures and measures into dimensions? Can you do that? Yes, we can do that. So answer is yes. But how do we do that? So just to click on the drop down and select a measure and choose one option. Choose one option here. Now observe what I'm doing here. So if I want to say count them, and there are very small number, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you have so many numbers, I cannot waste my time. So just to change here, so click on the measure and I'm seeing here 4 values. And if I say, okay, which one to apply here? I'm confused which one to apply. So this is a dimension. So dimension means apply count distinct. 4. Okay. But what happens if I apply count here? Sir, why should we only believe you? I want to click on count. No problem. So what you got here? 9994. Do you have these many regions? No, this is a wrong answer. Because it is counting duplicates also, which we should not do. So that's why we always say, if it is a dimension, then only use a count D, then you will get the right answer. Okay, so I'm changing back the measure into dimension. So click on this drop down and say here dimension. Okay, so that's one point, but we did not solve this problem. Now what to do here? So I want to take order ID and put it into columns or regions. You can put it anywhere you want. There is no restriction. So put that into the columns. Oh, what I got? I got these many orders. What can I do with these? I don't want this. I just need the number. How many? I just need the number. How many? Then what we should do? Convert the dimension into the measure. So how to do that? Click on this, go to measure, and which one should I use? Count or count D? Look at this field. It is a blue colored one. That means the discrete. So change here count D, and this is what you get. All right. So this is what you get. I'm just counting how many orders I have. Now, which region has got highest orders? So it is the west region where I got the highest number of orders. All right. So this is how we do here, and this is what we can convert the dimensions into measures and measures into dimensions. Right? So based on the requirements, based on the question, so we have to carefully choose Okay, which one I have to show, what I have to show. So we have to decide that. All right. So how did we do? Very quickly, one last time, because it is not very straightforward. So put region here. What happens if I put here? It doesn't make any difference. Now it shows in columns. And take here the order ID. All right. So take the order ID. You will get like this. And the next step here is change this to measure and count distinct, because I want to count. I don't want the discrete values. I want labels here, because without labels I cannot see anything. Then click on this option here, label. All right, but I don't want to use this. Now I want to use this. Can I use that? Yes, you can use even this as well. Click on the label and select this option, show mark labels. All right, you can do from here as well and from here as well. So which region has got now? So it is this, and the least one is, it is this here. All right, so that is the question, and this is the answer here. All right, so any questions so far what we discussed before I move to the next one?
So I have one question, right?
Mhm.
For dimensions, we are applying count D, right? And for measures, we'll apply count, right?
Yes.
But then you are choosing the option of count D for measures, right? So is it based on the discrete values?
Count D for not measure. So count D for order ID. So where is order ID? This is a dimension, isn't it?
Okay.
This is a dimension, not the measure.
Okay.
Right? So this is a dimension, and for this dimension, when I'm applying the measure as count D, then it is changing into the green color. Then it is changing into the green color. Now it is displaying, oh, this is a measure. But the original field was the dimension only. It is not a measure. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Excellent. So let's move on to the next one here.
Sir,
Yes.
when we need to convert the dimension to measure, in which scenario?
Based on the requirements. So if this is the question, so orders is not in the measure. So when it is not in the measure, then I'm trying to pull from the dimensions. So when I'm pulling from the dimension, then I have to change them, change the value from the dimension to measure. So when we should do is based on the questions here. But what to choose is this point. So what to choose should be very clear, but when to is based on the requirements, based on the questions. If I ask you how many products do we have, can you show me how many products do we have, or how many products we sold? Then here the product information is not there. Then you will drag the product name into rows, and you will say that okay, if I drag product name, this is what I'm getting. But how many products are there? What is the number? Show me on the screen. Then you have to change this from dimension to which one again? This is a dimension. So change it to count distinct and put the label. So you sold 1850 products. So based on the question, we have to choose whether we need to convert or we just need to drag and drop. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. All right. So the next thing, what we do here is,
I have a doubt.
yeah, very quickly. Go ahead.
In measures, I mean, we see one column name as orders count.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we can achieve the same result. I mean, for orders.
Yeah.
How
So
many
what
orders?
it is this is the name of the data source.
Okay.
Name of the data source is orders.
Okay. Fine.
And it is telling how many records you have. It is 9994 records. So unfortunately, the name is also matching here.
Matching.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what the confusion we got here. This is the name of the data source, sorry, name of the table here actually, not
Yeah,
the
table.
data source. It's the
Yeah,
name
table.
of the table, and that is that count here.
Got it.
In the old version, this was number of records. So in the old version, so it will be like this. But in new version, they are just change it to the name of the table and count.
Thanks.
All right, that's a good spot, in fact. Yeah. All right. Now what we learn here is, I got one question again. That I'm dragging the dimensions, dragging the measures. That is fine. But the question here is, how many can I put into this row shelf? How many dimensions? How many measures? All right, that's one very good interview question, and we have to know as a developer. Let's say I put a region. I have another question. When I drag it, can I drag the same field again? Will it allow or will it not allow? Interesting question, right? And that is a funny question, but that's the interview question. Can we drag same field another time? What do you think? Yes, no? Isn't it? So let's take a look here. So can I drag the same field again? Oh, it is allowing, isn't it? Drag it again. Oh, it is allowing. So there is no restriction here of dragging the same field again. So it displays the same values once again. All right. So no confusion here. So it will allow the same field. We can drag it again. Yes, we can drag it. How many times? It is unlimited. You can drag the same field any number of times. And the second question here. So how many dimensions? How many dimensions can we drag? Can we drag into rows or columns? So how many? Do you have any limitation? Yes, we have some limitations here. All right, let's look at them here. So I'm removing that. Let's drag here the category. First one. Second one, I want to drag a region. Very good. And now I dragged this by mistake. I want to have region first and then category first. Sorry, category next. That means I want to interchange these values. So not swapping. Swapping is what you have in rows, it goes to columns. But what I want to do, I want to swap the values because I did some mistake here. So can I do that? Yes, you can do that. How? So just hold this one and move to the right side. So you don't have to clear everything and do it. So you can just move the values to the left, to the right, whatever you want. Okay, remember that. Okay, then let's drag here the another one, the small ones, segment wise. Okay, I'm adding 3, it is taking 3. So like that, how many I can add it here? So this one depends on the setting. What is the setting you have in Tableau? So where is that setting available is, go to Analysis tab and go to the table layout. I'm going to Analysis, table layout, and go to the advanced option here. All right, so you have to remember this because we will change a few things from the screen. Observe these two parts, rows and columns. So there is a limitation here. So what is that limitation here? The number shows as 50. This is a pretty big number. But in old version, in 2018, so this number was 16. All right, so very good interview question. And in 2018 version of Tableau, so we can drag or we can show only 16 values here, one beside the other. But in latest version, this number is changed to 50. Right, so remember this. I'll put this in the question list as well. And we'll see one more thing. You have one small thing here. So it is for 50 in 2020.2.2, but in old version, so when I say old, so I'll put that here, 2018, it should be 16, right? Interview question. And there is one small thing again we have to see. I'm changing this number to 6, and here also I'm changing this number to 6. So we got one question here in these two things here. So what are these two settings? Can you explain? So this is one time interview question which we got. Okay, so what is that here? Two things: maximum level of row labels and maximum levels of horizontal row labels. What does it make difference? I'm not seeing any difference here, isn't it? All right. So instead of 6, let's even reduce to 4, which is an easy one for us. So I'm changing both the settings to 4 for now, and observe here. So the setting we said is, so take it only to 4. All right, we already have 3. So I'll take one more setting here, which is a ship date. I want to place it here. All right, now I got four values here. Now drag the 5th one here. All right, so let's drag the fifth dimension here. So 5th dimension, let's take here the product name region, the small one, ship mode, and let's put that here. How many we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5. How many it is showing here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it is only showing 4. But what is happening? I placed 5 things. Which one is not showing? Ship mode is showing, segment, category. It is showing a region. That means, is this not shown? No. What is happening here is it is combining these two fields. It is combining these two fields, and it is showing only 4 things here. Why only 4? Because we said here, we set the setting to show maximum level of row labels and maximum level of horizontal row labels. We set both of them to 4. Right? What is the point here is, if we have the 5th dimension, then the first 2 are getting combined. Point number 1. But now let's change this number to 5, and I'll keep this as 4. Observe, I'm changing here maximum levels of row labels as 5, but I just retained this number as 4. Say apply. What change happened here on the screen? Take a look here. So here, what is the setting here? How many I can show maximum in horizontal way? That means that this is the horizontal way. So how many you can show maximum? We set 4. Okay, now what are the last 4? I mean, what are the 4 things it shows? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but where is the 5th one here? 5th one shows in the vertical direction. All right, but is it allowing 5 here? Yes, it is allowing 5. And if I am changing this number to 4, that means here we have 2 restrictions. Allow 5, but Horizontally, how many in this 5? Only 4. So show only 4, and the rest rest of it goes into the vertical one. Let's add one more field here. Let's add one more field. Let's expand it. What do we happen? We get one more field here, isn't it? So we said here, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm having 6. That's fine. You don't have any problems. But how many you have to show in a horizontal way? Only 4. So that means which two got combined? These two got combined. And combined, but where are they showing? In the vertical direction. Because we restricted show only 4 in the horizontal. Then the first two will get combined. So if you look at that here, so it shows this is in 2016 quarter 1, and if we scroll down, so it shows for every quarter like that. This data is for 2016 quarter 2. So these two got combined. Right. So what is important point here is we can limit the number of fields. The maximum you can add is 50. Point number 1, and point number 2. How many you want to have it in the horizontal? So how many you want to have in horizontal setting, and the another setting? So maximum how many you can allow here? So that setting is this one. We changed it to the 5, and this was a 4. And if you have more values, the first two gets combined. Right. So those are some interview questions here. We got only one time, but very good to understand the difference between this setting and difference between this setting. It's only the word horizontal comes into picture. All right. So just try to play with this, and so have here 4, have here 5, and have here same numbers, and greater number, lesser number, lesser number, greater number, and just to see what happens in this. Can you drag and drop? Will it allow, disallow, and what gets combined here? So take a look, play with these options here. All right, so play with these options. Okay, so that is one interview question in this thing here. So how many you can allow? And this is most frequently asked question. So how many? And in previous version it is 16, now it is 50. A big difference here, because they will ask you what are the differences you found when you are working on so many old versions and the new versions, because you are claiming experience, so we should be able to tell them the differences as well. Right, another small concept here. Okay, let's move to another small topic, and then we'll see the questions here. Now let's go to the sheet, next sheet, and let's do this small question here. So the small question is display the maximum sales, minimum sales, average sales for all 4 years. All right, so try to do this problem here. So we have to show what is the maximum sales we got, what is the minimum sales, what is the average sales for all years here. How many dimensions? Years is a dimension, and here I got 3 different things here: maximum, minimum, average. But it's only one measure, which is the sales. So only one measure, one dimension. All right, so how do we show this now? So take here years means, so that is dependent on 2 things here. Look at the calendar icons. How many fields you have with the dates? Only 2, order date ship date. Ship date means when the product is shipped from your store. Order date, what is the date I got the order? So which one we should consider? We will consider this one, but not this one. Okay, so let's drag order date now. So remember, we will get the year format first. Are we asking year wise only? Yes, year wise only. Okay, now let's take here sales. Yes, I have sales, and take this here. Oh, I'm getting sum of sales because by default aggregation of W is sum. And second part is it shows a line chart here because you have the date field, it shows line chart. I don't want a line chart, so change this to the bar chart. And you can always change it whatever you want. Show me the numbers, click on this, and these are the numbers. But here what we are asking, maximum, minimum, average, but what you are showing, sum, which is not matching. All right, now how to do this? So first we will change that to maximum. You want to show maximum, then click on that, go to measure, and do you have a maximum? Yes, maximum sales in 2016. This is the sale amount. So one customer gave you this much of the highest sales. But how do I show minimum, average? So as we discussed, you can drag the same field again. So there is no restriction here. All right, so there is no restriction here. So you can drag the second time and change it to the minimum. And I need to show average. All right, take the sales again, drag and drop it there, and change this from sum to average. All right, so this is a maximum, this is a minimum, and this is the average sales. Very nice. And here that means I can drag one field any number of times, and I can change the aggregation. So what is that? Aggregation means the function to show my required values. So what is important to understand here? Only one point. We can drag the measure even multiple times. Okay, now let's try to understand the another topic here, which is here the types of access here. Types of access we have. So how many types of access we have? So we have 3 types of access. So what are they? Individual access, and then second one is the dual access, and the 3, a blended access. So we have to remember, so there are 3 types of access, and this is what we need till the end of our sessions, because we have to choose which one should I use, this one or this one or this one. Okay, if I want to choose which one, then I need to know what are they. So what are they is what I need to understand. So let's understand the first one here, which is the individual access. All right, so very simple one. Let's take a look. Let's keep this open for some time. I'll again come back, and let's go to the sheet 5, and this is the individual access. Apply, because there are few things to understand here. So what I am taking here, every time Y region, let's take the another dimension. Category wise, I want to display profits. Okay, category wise profits. So I have 3 categories, and these are my profits. Now, do I have any access on the screen? Yes, this is the access, isn't it? So when you have a numbers on the screen, So that definitely tells you that this is an axis here. So what do we call this type of axis? We call it as the individual axis. So that means if you are plotting something, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So the axis is coming up here individually. So one axis for one measure. Okay, let's keep that aside. So this is an individual axis, but keep an eye on this one here. If I'm dragging one measure means, so is there any change here? So there is no change. So there is no change here. And now observe, I'm dragging the second measure, which is the sales. Observe, I'm dragging the second measure and put that here side by side like this. Now what I got here, I got another axis here. So this is one axis and this is another axis. So two different charts, two different screens I got. So this is one axis for sales, this is for profits. Okay, this is fine, but take a look here in the marks card. This is where we have to focus now. So if I drag the second one, then how many marks cards here we have? So we see all is one is for profit, another is one sales. That means this is a measure and this is the marks card. For one measure, I got only one marks card. If I have two, then I got three marks cards here. So that means if it is greater than one means, then you will get here number of measures plus one. Number of measures plus one. So observe what we can do with this here. Let's say what is all here? All is a combined marks card. How is that useful? How is that useful here? Let's say here I want to change the colors to both of them. For sales and profits, I want to change the color. Okay, then click on all and click on color, and I want to change the color. So is that applied to both of them? Yes. And even I want to change the size of the bars here. I want to change the size of the bars. So click on the size and reduce here. So you can see that the change is applied to both of them. So that means if you want to apply any change for both of them, then do it from the all marks card. All is the combined marks card. But my requirement here is I want to have one color in profit. I want to have another color in sales. Then what you have to do, either you click on this option or click on this, or you can just click on these things here. So which one you want to change the color or anything, not only color, it can be anything here. Let's put it to the entire view, and I want to have sales in one color. So click on sales. So let's say you are in this. So click on sales. That will open up here. All right. So that will open up, and you want to change some colors here. So I want to show sales in this color. Not only color, you can change these to the lines chart, or you can change it to area chart. So whatever you want to show, you can do that. So if I swap, this is how it looks like, and so you can apply anything from this list, right? And I want to change profits to green color, only profits. Then click on profit. So click on this, then it will open up here, and profits. Yeah, I want to display some green colors here. So these are individual marks cards, and this is a combined marks card. Right, when you have more than one axis here, then we call it as the combined marks card. but axis wise, this is one axis, this is the another axis here. So we call these as the individual axis here. All right, and let's go back very quickly to the previous example. So how many measures did we have? 1, 2, 3. So 3 measures we have. So how many things we will get here? So it is a 3 plus 1. So 1 is the combined, which is all, so which is showing here. And these are the individual ones. So if you want to change something on this minimum sales, so then carefully choose that option here. So just click on that and it will open that, and you can choose whatever you want to change on this screen. Right, so that's a very bad color, and this is fine. All right, so how many we have here? 4 marks cards. And how many measures? 3. But remember, everything here is the individual axis only. This is one axis, this is another axis, this is another axis. So individually, I'm showing the axis here. All right, so that is the meaning of the first type of axis here, which is individual axis. So you will get axis separately, which starts from 0. Which starts from 0 here. So 0 and it starts 0 start 0 start. All right. So I'll take a pause here, and in fact we will stop it here as well. And tomorrow we will continue the other 2 types of axis, which is a dual axis and blended axis. All right. So I'll open up for questions now. Okay, I'm looking at the chart window. So what's the pointing limiting the columns and rows? So there's no point here. So if you have so many dimensions or measures, the performance will go down, isn't it? So why performance will go down? Because whenever you one dimension into the row, right? Whenever you drag one dimension into the rows, internally what happens is Tableau is going to send the SQL query. So when you drag one dimension here means internally Tableau writes SQL query and it will ask this data source. So user is asking, pulling the region. So how does it write the SQL query? So it writes like this: select distinct region from orders. So internally it will write this query, and then it will get the results, and it is trying to show here. So one dimension means one query. 50 dimensions means 50 queries. But of course it will get executed at once. But as you increase the number of dimensions, the SQL query takes time. So it is not for one sheet, isn't it? So it has to get for every sheet again. So how many sheets you have to get those many number of sheets. So yeah, we will talk about this point very soon when we discuss these options here. All right, so that's why if you want to get good performance, then limit the number of fields in the rows or in the columns.
Sir, in case of count distinct, the concept, so how many products we sold? You took up that thing, no, sir. So we can put product and sales as well there, no, sir.
Yeah, you can put that. So if you want the products here, so I'm asking how many products I sold. So if you put sales here, if you put sales, this is the sales information. Sorry, let's sort out in the descending by this product I got this much of sales. But what I'm asking, how many products did you sold? So there is no sales here. I'm just asking the number. So that number you can also see that here in the bottom corner, 1850 products, isn't it? But this number I'm asking, show me here, show me in the report.
Okay,
Then
how many products? Okay.
oh, you have to use this here, so you can see that it is 1850. Right? I'm not asking sale. I'm asking the number. How many? All right. So what about limiting columns? So generally we don't use columns there. We only try to show the number of rows as the final reports. So we really don't worry about the columns to limit because user won't read in this fashion. So he expects the data in this fashion. So that's why you don't have the option for that as well. But overall, we have to limit the number of dimensions or measures to a minimum. But there are some reports where you have to put 22 columns or 25 columns on one screen. Yes, so that's why they changed the number to 50. All right. So any other questions before we wind up for today? All right then. So we'll meet again tomorrow, same time, and we will continue with the other two types of access, the dual and the blended access. Right, I have added most of you to the drives as well as in the groups. So you should be getting the information and the sheets to your drives very soon, after half an hour, something like that. Oh, your thing is not there. Okay, so anyone who is whose name is not added to the drives, you can put it in the chat window, and whoever is not part of the WhatsApp group, also you can put your number in the group, so you should be getting the information. So I'm adding you to the drive, so just give me a minute. I'm just logging in. Okay, you should get the invite. Oh, if it is already added, then sir, every day you don't get the mails, but the data will be automatically reflected here. Oh, is it not there in the list? Okay. What is the other one? We have all right. All right. Okay, so number I have to add it to the group. Right, so anyone else who is missing? So please let me know now. Yeah, so if it is already there, you should get. So I'll check what's your email ID so I can see that if it is added in this list or not. So you can see that here. So you have the access. So only give one email ID, please. Otherwise, it will automatically truncate you. It only allows one. So if it is a repetitive one, so it will automatically disconnects you. So share only one email ID. It's very funny, but that's how. Okay. Any other? It's your choice, madam, Lavanya, madam. So if you want access, I can give you that. So share your email ID, then I can put that here. If you already have it, it should show up here. So what's your email ID? Lavanya, it doesn't show here. Okay, it's V11. All right. So I don't mind giving you the access. Paste it here. Okay, it's not allowing me to paste. Come on, type it. All right, so this is the one. All right then, so that's all for today. Thank you very much. Talk to you tomorrow. Oh, there's a number here which I missed out in the chat window. So this number is, I'll just put one small name here. And whose number is this, please? It is RVN. All right, so I'll get you added to the WhatsApp group. Sure. I'll get you added to the group as well. All right then.